Hi, welcome to Rick Snider's Washington. You know, I've long said you could count on one hand how many players I've seen retire from the games with no remorse. Darrell Green, although he came back for one more year, so okay, but Darrell did. Darrell played 20 years. You know, Vernon Davis didn't play this season. He had to go into other things. He had a long, good career. Russ Grimm walked off after that third Super Bowl and was ready to go. Okay, there's three guys out of 40-some years of doing this I've seen walk away. Said no regrets. It's just hard on these guys to do this. And now I look at Alex Smith and I read his GQ comments and I see a guy that still wants to play again, but probably doesn't have a home in Washington after all. And after a few shots at the team, which I don't think were quite fair, I don't think he'll be back. But Washington will handle this with more grace than past groups, which would have just did a quick release and said we thank him for his help. You know, nobody really expected Alex Smith to return last season. Nobody, including the team. And that's what he said. They didn't think I'd be back. They didn't want me. Well, they were afraid that you were going to be out on that ball field with your legs somewhere down the 20-yard line. You're at the 50. Everybody kind of thought that. We had to wait until you played a few games to see, is it going to be okay? And you admit that. And yet you still feel like you somehow got disrespected, according to these quotes. It wasn't that at all. People were worried about you. And, you know, you had 2 years off. Team paid you about $70 million. During that time. I mean, I wouldn't say the Washington football team is the bad guy in this instance, and I'm not sure that Alex is the bad guy either. You know, there's both sides can be right in a way, but it just shows once more that partying is sweet sorrow. It's hard. Hey, before we go, my buddy Matt out there, he sent me an email last night and said, "Oh man, the Pens beat the Caps now 4-5," and I just replied, "Is that good? I don't know." Well, it's time to go. That's for sure. So. I'll see you tomorrow on Rick Snider's Washington. Thanks for the 2 minutes.